Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first time we start recording this week's Starting 11. And we haven't actually talked about 20 minutes about nothing before this. That's just going to be an urban myth because we don't have Adelia with us this week. She's on assignment, special assignment for the network. But we have there's a guy who can remind me to hit record again 15 minutes into a show. Young Fares Muthon is here.
I'ma need a day off. I think I called Ferris up.
I hit it twice. Baloney.
Yo, what's good, Rob? How you feeling? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just great. I'm doing fantastic. Guys, now, while you weren't with us, we had been talking about the happenings in the Premier League since we've been gone on the international break. Everything's back. I'm sad. Ferris is happy. We'll talk about what happened this weekend. We started off by talking about Everton's 10-point deduction for being found guilty of financial fair play rules, losing 20 million more than expected or more than allowed. They're allowed to lose 105 million pounds somehow.
That's wild. That's wild to me,
Three-year
dog.
period.
That's wild to me.
That's insane. But they lose 125 million or something like that. So
that's one Jude Bellingham.
that's true. Yeah,
That's one Jude Bellingham.
yeah, they could probably sell Everton to Real Madrid right now.
Yeah,
for Jude Bellingham, and then they just start off in like some guy's backyard or something. They'll play. All right, so yeah, we were talking about it's a pretty stiff penalty that Liverpudlians aren't very happy about it.
Yep. Calls of
as
corruption.
expected. Yeah, the
calls of corruption, annoyance. They're killing the game. All the expletives for the Liverpudlians.
yeah. So they dropped down second last, the second from the bottom.
19.
Now, yeah, on 4 points. On 4 points. They have from 14 to 4. And they've been playing well. They've been playing well leading up to this. Of course, this marks the biggest deduction in Premier League history. To be fair, we're also talking there's probably going to be more financial fair play rulings coming. I was talking about Chelsea. Chelsea self-reported some shenanigans that may have happened while the new group, the Bully group, was taking ownership of the club. They found something that might be discrepancies. They let the Premier League know. It's the only reason why I'm saying fair is that I don't think Chelsea is going to be hammered as hard. Plus, if there was any real horrible stuff happening, it would have been reported already. Because it's not like people didn't go over the books while the sale was being made. It had to be done. There had to be self-count. Yeah. So, Man City.
It's just basic. It's basic acquisition. It's just basic acquisition. Like that's you have to open the books, show everybody what you got.
Yep. And the fact that Chelsea actually had to show them this stuff is
but Rob, I wouldn't. Everton worked with the Premier League. They were reporting it. The Premier League had to authorize all their transfers, and they still gave them 10 points. Yep. So I think still working with the Premier League and self-reporting. Yeah, it's cool and all.
I think Chelsea's going to get a point deduction.
Yeah.
I don't see it as many as 10. Watch them. They'll probably get like
5,
maybe even more, maybe 6.
6.
Yeah, I think that'll be good enough. What they did, I don't think had anything to do with what else would happen to the rest of the table, and we didn't win any championships, I believe, during that time. So it's that. Now, Man City has 130 different
135, 115 or something.
It's insane.
25, something like that.
Yeah, they've got a lot on City. So we'll see what happens. Now, points deduction is something which is going to happen, but a lot of people talking relegation for this is not going to happen, guys. They're not relegating Manchester.
If they do, is to send a message.
Yeah.
if they do. But the thing with this is people are like, oh, it's not gonna. Like, I don't think it's like not gonna happen like 100%. Because like Serie A did it to Juventus.
Mm.
You know, Juventus, one of their three major brands. You know, and they had a long history
Oh, sure.
of like a long history. Like, man, no offense to Manchester City, they're a Johnny come lately.
Yep.
They're not they're not dripped in history. Well,
Mm-mm.
one, they actually ripped away their tradition when they changed our logo. I don't appreciate it. They had a better logo back then with the golden eagle and all the good. It was pretty cool. And then
Sure.
they did, then they updated to that shit new logo. So they're not dripped in history. So if a team like Juventus would dripped in history, the old lady, the Zebras, 30 league titles. That's why they have 3 stars on the Juve. Speaking of another downgrade in logos, if
Mm.
that can happen to them, even though they, you know, no, but if you can say, oh, but Fares, they were paying off refs. Cheating is cheating.
Yep.
Cheating is cheating. If
Yeah.
it's paying off refs or manipulating your money, and see, honestly, like, you know, paying refs is like, that's just basic sports cheating. It's nothing, you know, it's like, oh, you paid off a ref. Of course you did. You know, yeah. But, you know, what Man City did, I think, is a little bit
They
worse.
probably weren't the only ones in Italy that did it either.
No,
so.
no, it weren't. Like AC Milan was also brought to it, but it was concrete evidence against Juve, and they were relegated
Mhm.
like that. So relegation's still on the table. Are they going to do it? No, but are they going to do it? No, because I personally think the people who are running the English Premier League, they're scared. They have no backbone. They have no.
Sure.
If you, I'm sorry, Rob, if you are convicted of 115 financial fair play charges, and you gave Everton 10 points for one charge, let's say you stick with the 10 points. 10 points times 115, that's like, bro,
It's a lot.
it's a lot. It's
1,150 points.
Yeah, you're in the negative.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just relegate them?
Yeah,
but they're not going to do it because the English Premier League is not dealing with businessmen, or like a old school English owner. They're dealing with countries.
Yeah.
Like same thing with Newcastle. Same thing with Newcastle. You're not dealing with some dude. No, you're dealing with the country of Saudi Arabia, the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He's their representative. You're not dealing with Sheikh Mansour. Oh, Sheikh Mansour. You're dealing with the country of the United Arab Emirates. You're not dealing with, hey, that's Jack Foley. Like, no. From Kent. Like, no. Like, you're not dealing with that guy. That guy no longer exists.
Right.
You're dealing with legitimate city, like nations. Sheffield United is owned by the Saudis. They own 2 English Premier League teams.
Mm-hmm.
2, but no one says anything. Like, honestly, they should relegate them. If they are convicted of 115 charges, it's the same charge multiple times. If they're convicted of that hypothetical situation, if they're convicted of all charges, probably not going to happen, but hypothetical situation, if they are, you relegate them. You have to. I think you should, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not gonna happen, man.
Yeah, it's tough to see that going on. Anyways, yeah, it's taking forever for all these things to go through the courts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Everton's just the first one. We'll find out what happens. It probably won't even happen till the off season, just so they can say whatever, get through the season. Then they'll mess with it. I don't know why they messed with Everton right away. But let's move on to the actual games that happen.
I got a question, Rob.
Okay, sure.
A lot of people don't like the international break because they're like, "Oh, international soccer is horrible."
What?
And do you agree with that?
I love international soccer. I think the players love international soccer. I think it's like this entire thing is done so that people can play for their country. It's supposed to be country and club, country then club. This is how you're supposed to rank how you play or whatever. But now that people are making so much money, you'll see like the players are going to step back a little bit as well. I'm a business now to myself and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's like Erling Haaland saying, "My ankle hurts. I can't play for you, Norway." but he plays for Man City the following week.
Yeah, you played the first half or something like that in that game, but yeah, it's any little niggling thing. It's like, oh, I can't. But come World Cup, everybody wants to play. So we'll see.
Also, too, it isn't my fault that you're too busy watching France versus Gibraltar. That's your fault.
Yeah, how dare
you know what I mean? Go. You should have
the Faroe Islands.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, oh, I watched Netherlands versus Kosovo. Like, that's your fault. No offense. No. I gotta take that back. Kosovo actually won during the international break. Shout out to Kosovo. Shout out to my homies in the Balkans. Kosovo, Bosnia. Shout out to you.
All right.
They're Muslim, so you know what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. But my thing is, like, y'all should have watched Honduras versus Mexico. That was wild. I watched it with Adelia, and Honduras got screwed over.
Well, yeah, I watched Canada. Canada loses to Jamaica.
Yeah, that game was awesome. That game was awesome.
Yeah, that penalty at the end. Yikes! All right, whatever.
When we talk about penalties, there's a penalty in one of these games where I'm like, that's not a penalty.
There's a few we'll talk about, but we'll get into it. That was today. All right, so first match of the week, the marquee matchup of this week, you would imagine, featuring the top two squads. So when do they put it on? During prime time? No, they decide to put it on for English lunch. So that basically,
I don't understand.
No one over here can watch it.
I don't understand.
Unless you're a psychopath like me, who works at 7 o'clock in the morning. So you got up at 5:30 in the morning, so you can start watching football, and then
I don't get it.
Watch the rest on my phone. 4 o'clock in the morning for you, Fares. You getting up to watch this match?
Hell no.
No, that's fine. It was a pretty entertaining match. City dominates the first half. They only allowed the one shot on target, and it's a Nunez header, I believe, and Ederson gets to it, gets his hand to it, goes over it. That's about it. And then they go up through some kid, some young up-and-comer named Erling Haaland. Now, Alisson wasn't having a very good first half. He had given the ball away once to Phil Foden. Phil Foden puts it over the net, so he gets away with that one. And then he goes to clear again, and this time it finds Nathan Ake, who delivers the ball inside to Haaland. 50th Premier League goal in 48 games. The kid's
fastest all time.
Yeah, and it smashes the record. That's Gretzky. Like Gretzky got 39 goals in 50 games.
You don't know who held the record?
Oh, off the top of my head, I can't remember it.
It's Andy Cole, 50 in 65 games.
Jeez. So beat it by 15 games. Well, I don't think when was the last time I thought of Andy Cole? Anyways, yeah.
17 games, actually.
He had never scored against Liverpool. I guess you're only going back 1 year or whatever to it.
It's literally 1 year. It's
1 year. You're only going, but he only has one team remaining to score a goal against in the Premier League. Can you tell me that team?
Are they in
They're in the Premier League.
Okay.
You want an even bigger hint?
Yes.
Your team might have played their team this week.
He hasn't scored against Brentford?
He's never scored against Brentford.
Do you know Brentford has never lost to the Big Six at home? Except twice, actually. And it was to the same team.
Except twice. Never lost except for those 2 times.
Arsenal.
Yeah. But City couldn't get an insurance goal.
No.
They have plenty of chances. They would flub them. Alisson does make a couple of really good saves, especially one late against Haaland or whatever. He gets down and blocks it. And it's this guy, Mo Salah, in the 80th minute, setting up a play where he finally gets to Trent Alexander-Arnold, playing way forward like he should be, but don't tell Klopp that. Let him play in the back.
Please don't tell him that.
Yeah, he can play in the back all he's like. Nice shot. He gets the first touch to bring it over to his right foot, was very good. And then nice low shot into the far corner. Not much to it. It's a good goal scorer's goal. Knots the game late. Levels it. That's how it ends. There isn't much else after that. It's a surprising finish given how many chances City had. But that's the power of sticking in there. Like just defend enough, I guess, and hopefully something will happen. It's not like Chelsea didn't just show people how to score against these guys. Liverpool wouldn't pay attention, and it takes Trent Alexander-Arnold of all people to tie the match. So 2 big drop points each.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
none really much happened between the first goal and the second goal. Like it was just a big pile of meh. And then after the goal, it was eh.
Well, yeah. There was another couple of chances and stuff like that. Just Liverpool didn't put up much of a fight until they had the one opportunity and they took it, and that's all you need. Okay, before we go on with the rest of the weekend, before I start crying, we'll listen to Justin talk about our Patreon and how you guys can help us out.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
Thank you, you bearded Alabaman. So we're just going to go right to Newcastle 4, Chelsea 1. And there's not much more I can say. Like the manager said it, the players have said it, how poor they were, how they had no fight. It was an embarrassment. The thing is, they had, like, that first half was okay. Like, defensively, not great for Chelsea. They only had given up the one goal. But then Sterling scores a hell of a goal from a free kick. But guys like Joe Linton had a header that just missed. Badia Shield should have scored early. Conor Gallagher really screwed up a great chance with I don't even know if he was trying to kick it or if it goes off a shin or something, just weird. Just a soft dribbler at net when he had some space and tight. That first goal by Isak, good for him, but Chelsea's defense just falls apart, and they're working it around well. Alexander Isak is left wide open in front of goal. Cucurella on one side, Badiashile on the other, and they leave the most dangerous player on the pitch to himself to get the goal in. What can I say about the Raheem Sterling goal? We don't score many from a free kick. So to get one and seeing Reece James lining up for it originally and going to Sterling, who's having himself a hell of a year, gets a 6th of the season. He puts it over a leaping wall and enough curl in it that Nick Pope has to stay rooted to the spot. But that's where, things start going a little backwards. They get into the break and they come back. And Anthony Gordon puts a cross in. And everyone allows Lascelles to get his head to it. It's just like there was nobody put a man on him at all. They just weren't trying. 90 seconds later, Thiago Silva, I don't know if he's trying to pass the ball back towards net. If he's trying to pass it across, but he turns, he barely touches it, and then Joe Linton takes it, goes in, scores a goal to go up 3-1. We're allowing Joe Linton to score on this now, for God's sakes. 3-1 Newcastle. And by the way, I don't know who was announcing this match for Fubo TV, but every time Newcastle scored, it was like he was just calling England winning the World Cup. It was incredible. Buddy, relax. It's week 13 and it's November. Okay, I'm talking about overcoming such odds with their injury troubles. It's like, give me a goddamn break. Nobody cried for Chelsea last year, and I don't blame them. No one should get all excited about that. Like, Chelsea still won some games last year, and they had basically a championship level or Champions League level squad missing from their squad. So enough of this. And then Reece James. So Reece James, there's a tackle made in the outfield during the first half. He doesn't really like the call. He kicks the ball away. He gets a yellow card. Now, Anthony Gordon has the ball. He's running down the flank. Reece James puts a hand on him. Not very much. And of course, Anthony Gordon's going to dive because he's Anthony Gordon. You know, Tiger can't change the stripes. Goes to ground. Another yellow card. Red carded Reece James in probably his worst performance of his career at Chelsea. He was absolutely terrible. He took a free kick later, and it was awful, well over the net. Like, and Sterling was standing close to the same spot too. Why wouldn't you put Sterling back? He knows how to do the shot, but he had to have it. He's the captain, so he takes the shot. It's over. He's kicked out 72 minutes in. It doesn't take long after that for Anthony Gordon to score another goal, put it up 4-1. Chelsea is absolutely had no resistance, had no fight in them. There's no player besides Raheem Sterling that's even worth mentioning. They were just soft. They were awful. Badiashile just coming back in. Didn't look great. He had Caicedo on the bench. He had Ugochukwu in because Caicedo was the last guy back. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like, yeah, all I can say is they were awful defensively. They were awful offensively. There's going to come a point now where the guys are coming in, and he's going to have to make some changes. Nicholas Jackson was worthless. I don't expect him to be starting maybe as soon as next week when Christopher Nkunku comes, hopefully to save us. If he plays anything like he played in the preseason for us, he can be pretty exciting. I can't really wait to see what he can do in the Premier League. The highest scoring guy in the Deutsche League last year in the Bundesliga. So we have that. We also have Romeo Lavia coming back. So maybe it's time for Conor Gallagher to sit for a match. And plus, here's another thing. So Nick Pope makes a great save on Enzo in this match. Enzo needs to put the ball in the net. I know that's not his job. It's something he has to do. He was paid an awful lot of money to be a center attacking midfielder who doesn't attack. But we'll see. Mudryk comes in late, so you can't shoulder too much of the blame on him. Sanchez wasn't great in goal. Guys, I can go on. Like, there was just nothing to Chelsea's squad that made you excited to be a Chelsea fan this weekend. It was you look at other squads coming in, and then you talk about the youth and stuff like that. It's like, these guys are old enough. It's not like they're new to football. This is the sport they've played all their lives. It's not like they didn't have 2 weeks to get ready for this match. They dropped the ball. I know the Posh was upset. I know that I was upset. Now, hopefully the players are upset. Hopefully they remember what this feels like, because hopefully we never have to go through this again. Now, Newcastle is a good squad. Of course, I think they're a bit of a roller coastery squad. We should have been able to take advantage of them. We didn't. Go back to the drawing board and just hope that Christopher Nkunku will be here to save us, because God knows who else is going to do it right now. We're looking at that January window, and there's a guy in the Italian league that keeps getting talked about. And hopefully, we don't have to go that far, pay that much.
Go get Lukaku again.
Oh shit, no! I think that ship has sailed.
So you're talking about Lautaro Martinez?
Now talking Osimhen again.
Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about another guy who's been mentioned in transfer rumors lately. I don't see how this guy is going to get transferred. I don't know how the club would be able to do it, considering he's just like 19 years old. And the history this club has now of selling people, I think it would drive them bananas because he's quickly becoming a fan favorite. But we'll talk about that when we talk about that match. And while you're gone, Fares, I was just going over my disgust about the effort or non-effort that Chelsea put forward.
Why,
I don't think it's a surprise.
Rob, why is it that y'all always show up against us, but against other teams, y'all forget to play soccer?
We were fantastic in Man City.
Yeah, sure. There's a point.
They play well. They play well, and then they take their foot off the gas. It's just like I said. I don't want to say it's because they're young, because they've been playing the sport their whole lives, and they should be bashed into their heads. Never ever let up. But they let up. They were.
Did you agree with the red card on Reece James?
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. But just because the call on Raheem Sterling was the exact same thing. He was running. He had it free. The guy put his hand to him. Sterling fell. I think the other guy put a little bit more to it, but doesn't matter. Sterling falls down. They point for a free kick. He was given a yellow card. Now, Reece James was already on a yellow card because he just kicked the ball away. That stupid new rule. They call it time wasting. So, and it wasn't even his tackle. It's so bad. So, the second yellow card is like, yeah, I get it. Even though it was a soft call and it was on Anthony Gordon, who dives all the time. It's a call. You have to make the call because you already made the call. Mm-hmm. I was pissed off with Cucurella too for not shutting his mouth over a tackle. Now he gets his yellow card because that's his fifth. He's gone now for next week too. So our back line is looking a little thin. Mm-hmm. We had people hurt.
Well, that's fine. You guys have like 1 million players in the locker room, so you're good.
Well, Malo Gusto's hurt. That's Reece James's spot. Mark Cucurella had jumped over there when Gusto would sub off. So that's another guy that can't take that spot. Badia Shield is back. Like, do we move Levi Colwell over there? I have no idea.
Play a 3-man back line?
You're playing with Thiago Silva now, who looked awful.
Who looked his age?
Awful. Yeah, he was not. And he had just scored the week before. So, yeah, he's looking every bit 39 now. He's looking every bit 39 now. But mm-hmm. Yeah, it's we have an interesting matchup next week. It's a matchup where if they get their shit together, they should be able to win. But we'll talk about that when we get to our predictions. Instead, we have to keep going on here. We're going to talk about a much-needed win for Bournemouth and beating Sheffield United 3-1. And these are the games that they have to win.
Yeah.
And they're getting goals. This time they're getting goals from people you wouldn't expect. Like they get 2 from Tavernier, which is good for them. It's like when you don't have to worry about Dom Solanke scoring. Like Dom Solanke, I don't think was in the scoreline at all. I don't think he even had an assist. I think he had some good plays and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But they did benefit from maybe the biggest bonehead play of the week when Wes Foderingham, the goalie for Sheffield United,
what a bonehead!
Decides to come outside the box.
Oh my god, it was.
And then decide to like I don't know if he just had a brain fart or what, but yeah, it's just taken by Kluivert, kind of looped into the net, mm-hmm. Wide open net.
Think
what are you doing? What are you doing?
One of his 2 goals. Then Kluivert scores 2 goals.
I think that was. I think Kluivert had the one, and it was Tavernier that had.
Tavernier had the 2. Yeah. So yeah, man, I don't. What was, dude? It was too far outside the box. He should have stayed back because the worst case
You had
scenario.
players coming back. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
so
was he ready for the cross?
Because I think Clivert was fighting one of his defenders for the fight the ball, and the ball bounces out wide. If he stayed in his box, in his goalie box, it would have been fine because his defender was also following the ball with Clivert, so they would have then fought again out towards the edge of the box, and he's still good. But he's trying to be 1990s winger. Hey, trying to dribble out the ball. Like, what are you doing? What is going? You're not.
Yeah, there's
You're
a reason.
not.
There's a reason you're in Net Palace because
Yeah.
you're probably not a good dribbler.
Exactly.
It's I think a mistake. He won't make twice because it's a bus ride back to the championship if you do. Well, I don't think they
They're
have to
already
wait
going
very long.
back down anyway. So
They don't have to wait, but these guys should be auditioning for jobs. That's what should be happening. I can't really think of too many other Sheffield United players because no one's seeming to stand out for them at all. I'm just talking about that second Tavernier goal. Real nice cross there from Adam Smith and in or whatever. I think that should get mentioned. Some good, yeah. There was a lot of good crosses into the box this week. It just seemed people were allowed to do it. The goal for Sheffield United came very late. Like a minute before extra time
Ollie
ended.
McBurney.
Yeah, Ollie McBurney. Nice cross again by George Baldock. That's all I want to say. But this match was a thrashing. It was never close, and considering it's Bournemouth, it wasn't like it's a top tier team.
Let me show you the stats, Rob. 23 shots for Bournemouth, 11 on target.
I know it was 11-2 on target. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what it was, man. 11-2 on target.
Yeah.
No, possession really doesn't really matter nowadays. Because I've seen people have like 80% possession and lose 3-0. So possession nowadays it's kind of been skewed. So, but Bournemouth won possession at 55%, 45%. Yep. So the pass accuracy was at 75%. Bournemouth just took it to them.
These are the matches they have to win.
Yeah.
If they want to stay in the league, they can't lose to Sheffield United. They can't lose to Burnley. They can't lose to Luton.
They can't.
And now you have to say Everton as well.
Yeah, you can't lose Everton either.
Yeah, they got to win those matches, and they did. They showed up on the road.
They're only 1 point behind Nottingham Forest.
They're in a good spot. They're in a good spot for them. Yeah. See if anybody can fall back and stuff like that. We're going to talk about the Luton stuff like that match in a minute. But first, we're going to talk Burnley. And it was a heartbreak for Burnley. It was a real good game, I thought. The first half, no real scoring. Now, Koleosho, who we've talked about before, has been playing well. So this is a guy auditioning. He's auditioning, and he's doing well. Koleosho takes the ball into the box. He gets tripped up. Penalty. For some reason, they give it to Jay Rodriguez. Which is whatever.
I don't know. I don't understand.
Just beats Areola. Areola guessed right. Just goes underneath him. So good goal there. So they go up 1. Defensively, they're playing well. Offensively, it's Burnley. What are you gonna do? Not great. Until the 85 minute, and Mohamed Kudus, like this guy. Is going to be a huge steal, and considering, like, I think he said this is the money they get for Declan Rice.
Yeah, so it was him, James Ward-Prowse, and Edson Alvarez.
Right. Yeah.
And Ward-Prowse was, I think, 10 million.
Yeah, it's a steal, an absolute steal. I couldn't believe it.
And I think Edson Alvarez was 42 million. And I think Kudus was 45 million.
Yeah. Kudus was a guy that was in a lot of teams' sites, but I think he chose West Ham. I think he saw a place where he'd be able to play, and he is
consistently.
Yeah, and of course, consistently. And he's rewarding him. He's rewarding him.
Those 3 men are $97 million. 3 men for $97 million. Which I think the price we paid in millions of the American millions for Declan Rice is 140.
It's something like that. I believe it's 105 million pounds.
I think it was 110 million pounds.
Oh, is it 10?
Was because he broke the record.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Grealish
Well,
was
the record was 100, and I think that was Jack Grealish.
okay. Then it was probably 105. No, because Jude Bellingham was bought from Borussia Dortmund for 101.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably 105. So in American dollars, I think it was 140.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's worth every goddamn penny, by the way, too.
Well, he earned
I'll tell you. He's earned it multiple weeks. Except in that Carabao Cup game that no one showed up for. That we lost to West Ham, apparently, which is funny. Speaking of West Ham, we lost to West Ham at London Stadium. You know what? How about you? You know what? Someone give them a sponsor because so we don't have to say London Stadium anymore. It's horrible. Yeah. So like 97 million of the 140 they got, so they have like an extra freaking 40 million or 45 million to play with.
Sure.
One. You know what I mean? It's like when we gave that Brazilian team $6 million for Gabriel Martinelli. 6 million in millions is a lot of money in Brazilian. And apparently the money they got for Gabriel, there's like this third division team, Rob. They built a new training center because of it.
Sure.
And now they're in League 2 of Brazil, and I think they're fighting for promotion. So boom. One sale changes a club.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people think Benfica and Ajax are dripped in cash? Because they sell people up the wazoo, man. They're getting 100 million every other year for some random Dutchman, some random Portuguese kid, some random Spanish kid that Benfica has. Benfica once sold 2 kids for $100 million each.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 years, sold one to Chelsea. Then I think sold another one to someone else, and I think they sold Darwin Nunez for 85 million.
They sure weren't happy to sell that one to Chelsea. I can tell you that.
Enzo Fernandez?
Mm-hmm. They did not want to do that.
Well, yeah, he was only there for like a year. He was only there for a year, but when an offer
100 million shuts them up real fast.
Yeah, so he's like, we want to keep him for 1 more year, but 100 million. Oh, give me that, baby. Because they also got Liverpool for 85 for Darwin Nunez.
Mm-hmm.
So they're yeah.
That's a bit more of a steal. That was a bit more of a steal from Benfica. So here you go. Here's a good bench player for 85 million.
Exactly.
Anyways, and Ajax can still trade on when they were relevant in the 70s.
Yeah, like Edgar Davies and the entire.
Plus, they gave the league Eric Ten Hag, so that's nice.
Yeah. And that entire 1994 team was sold. Everyone got sold for at least like, I don't know, if that team was like now, and that team did what they did in 94 now, every one of those starters would be sold for at least like $20 million. At least.
Be like Brighton.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if Brighton won Champions League and then
let's not get crazy.
Yeah, let's not get crazy. It's like, and then they win Champions League, then they sell Matoma for 75. They sell They send Evan Ferguson for like 200 million.
Well, that's what we're gonna talk about him in a minute.
Yeah. Joao Pedro for 80.
Like in that already, he's 19 years old, and you can almost consider him in the top 15 Irish players of all time. Crazy. Anyways,
it's not that much of a.
There's been some good Irish players.
Roy Keane.
Yeah, Roy Keane. He's good.
He's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay, so
I enjoyed when he insulted Andy Robertson. What the hell is Andy Robertson doing? Acting like a baby. What a baby. Baby.
Yeah. Well, okay, we'll just keep going on. Kudus, just putting the ball towards net. It goes off
Dara
O'Shea for the own goal. Now they were saying it may have gone off of Mubama as well, or whatever, first or whatever, like off his knee in his face or whatever. Doesn't matter. It was all Kudus and a great run or whatever coming in. So there's that play. And then the late winner, when a Kudus finds his way all the way across this, from one side of the pitch to the far post, and Thomas Souček's head, and West Ham totally Tottenham's Burnley. It was hilarious when it happened to Tottenham. Pretty sad when it's happening to Burnley, who struggle to get wins. And I'm not a huge West Ham fan. at all. So yeah, it's disappointing. Now, am I happy I got to see Vincent Company's sad face? I was. I can't ever lie about that. Not a huge fan of that.
What they're not playing like his championship team.
No.
Like he's completely like not done his identity. Like they played a specific way in the championship. They won the championship by like 20 points. And they were like,
it was all offense.
It was all offense. I get that you're like, oh, we can't really do that in the Premier League, blah, blah, blah. But you're not even trying it. Try it.
Yeah. What do you have to lose now?
Literally.
What do you have to lose?
Literally, Rob. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Press.
Yeah. Like, and imagine what? Like,
just watch tapes from last year in the Premier League. It was all press. Press. Why do you think Brighton did so well? They pressed.
I'll say this, man, too. You lose a game 4-3, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you win a game 4-3.
Yep.
Literally he's not doing his philosophy. He had a philosophy and that got him promotion. That got this team promotion. And you get in the Premier League and you don't even try it. It's not that it's not working. You're not even trying it, bro.
And they have a young keeper who's pretty good. You know, he's not a huge superstar in the making or anything like that, but he's young. He's English.
I don't know. Was it that the under 23 World Cup or was it the Euros?
Under 23s.
Euros?
No. Just the
World Cup.
Yeah.
So they won it with him in goal, and literally the main thing about that English team was always like their defense and their goalie is what made them win the game because they were winning games 1-0, 2-0.
Trafford's going to be a very good goalkeeper in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be for Burnley.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to sell him.
And he's British, so the media is definitely going to defend him.
It's a huge thing about him, and this is why they have to sell him. They have to sell him.
Yeah, man. Look
what
what
they're doing with
look what they're doing with Aaron Ramsdale. You know, they defend him like Aaron Ramsdale's their mother. You know what I mean?
We'll talk about him too in a minute.
Oh yeah, we will.
We'll talk about him too. Finally, for the first time in a while, we'll talk about that awful pajama-looking kit that he was wearing. But anyways, let's move on.
It's the same one that David Raya wears.
Yeah, but it's awful. It's awful.
The blue one?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, I prefer the black one.
It just looks like pajamas. But anyways, doesn't matter. We'll go on.
Your goalie looks stupid too.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not a nice thing to say about somebody's goalkeeper. Now, okay, so Forest at home, the City
lost,
losing to Brighton, losing despite going up early. Goes up in the third minute through Olanga. Everton, or like Evan Ferguson, we were just talking about again. Gets one in the 26th minute. Nice cheeky shot from the top of the box to the bottom corner. Now, just want to say about Evan Ferguson. Yes, already rumors swirling about transfer. I think this might be, just a whole like a wish list kind of thing about players or teams. Mm-hmm. They're going into January window and stuff like that. I don't think there's any way Brighton can ever let this kid go. Ever.
They can't.
They can't let him go. They've made their money off the sales of other people and stuff like that. They cannot let Evan Ferguson go to another club. And I know Arsenal's been one of the teams sniffing around. And I don't blame him. You get a young kid like that with the talent like that young, with your group that's already established, the damage he could do. Yeah, but how do you sell that to your fans? How do you go to the South Coast and say, guess what, guys? We just sold Evan Ferguson for £50 million. How do you do it? That's not
enough. That's not enough, man.
If you're gonna, you could say 120 million. It doesn't matter. At this age, there's no way you can do it. You can't. How do you sell it? It's like, guys, I know we've gotten rid of all your favorites, but here's your new favorite who we're gonna sell. You can't do it. You can't do it. So
also
it'll
too,
be interesting.
You know what's funny is that they didn't even sell Alexis McAllister. He walked for free.
Yeah, there's some bad management.
Like, Like, because people kept talking about like, oh, they sold Moises Caicedo. Oh, and Alexis McAllister also left. So I'm like, wait, did they sell Alexis, or did he walk on he walked on the free?
Yeah.
They let him walk on the free, probably because he's almost 30. So that's probably it. But still, you didn't want to sell him. Like
Well, I don't know if it's a thing where they had him and they were using him as kind of like a self-free agent. They were pushing to try and make European football, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, if they get rid of him in that window, like the time to sign him, of course, was 2 years before. They didn't,
Mhm.
and then he goes on. He has a pretty good World Cup as well. Price starts going up for him, stuff like that. So yeah, it's a difficult one, losing McAllister and stuff like that. But
Yeah, no, but I'm with you, Rob. Like,
yeah, but again, yeah,
you can't,
he was that age. This is a 19-year-old kid.
you can't, you
18.
gotta, like Rob. We keep talking about Brighton. Speaking of
Mhm.
Roberto De Zerbi, stupid ass. You can't keep selling your players.
Nope.
This is not, like I keep saying. I'm gonna keep saying till I'm blue in the face. This is not the Portuguese league. This is not the Dutch league. You cannot survive. You cannot survive. I'm sorry, you can't. And then you can't say, "Oh, we've replenished the team by signing Borussia Dortmund rejects."
Yeah.
No offense to Mahmoud Daoud. Sorry, no offense to you, dog. Daoud. No offense, but like you're a Borussia Dortmund reject. They didn't sell you.
It's not a business model for success in the Premier League.
It's
It's
definitely not.
It's a great model for success in the Championship.
Yeah, or
That
or like I said, the
if
Dutch
you want to
league or
be
the
a if you want to if you want to be a farm club, you can make a lot of money being a farm
Mhm.
club. You just need to get real good scouts.
You need
You need to
to
pay
invest
them
in the
well.
scouting department. Yeah.
You need to pay them well, and you need
Mhm.
to send them everywhere.
And I think
So
that's the problem with what's going on with Ajax and the Dutch league. I think their scouting department isn't either they're not being listened to, or they're not as good as they used to be.
yep.
But I think they're not being listened to. You know, but
So
yeah, you're right.
if you have to, I think it's something that you have to keep changing over the
Mhm.
years because
Yeah,
the game keeps changing. You can't the
exactly.
guy who has an eye for a player 10 years ago, that same kind of player isn't going to do well inside your system. It's like everything
Mhm.
evolves. So it's just a matter of, you know,
My thing is this, man.
scouting has to be current. Scouting has to be relevant to your program. It's
Mhm.
hard if you keep your same scouts forever. It doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
you need to
I'll go
keep
somewhere else.
Matoma, and you need to keep Ferguson,
Hmm.
and you need to keep Pedro.
Sure. I would
You
put
get,
Pascal Gross on there for now.
but
Uh,
isn't he like 30?
yeah, but yeah, he's one of their best crossers. I think defensively, he's pretty sound. He's a good player. I wouldn't get rid of him. Plus, he has that
Nah.
weird name, that weird
Yeah,
way to spell the.
it
I
is.
really like that. That
It is
little
a bit weird.
weird B that makes an S
Yeah,
sound. Come on, it's pretty good.
tried to Pascal.
So, João Pedro comes off the bench. Uh, Ansu
Speaking of
Fati
Brighton,
gets
Rob.
hurt. Sure. Okay.
You know, Rob, you ever seen that tweet where it's like, do you know an athlete where you say their entire name? Because there's certain people who don't say Solly Marsh by
Those people are the worst. You have
they
to say
say
Solly March.
they say Solly Marsh. They don't say Solly. So is there any other athlete where you have to say their full name? You can't just call them by like their actual first name,
They
you
just
know?
they have to say both names. There's
You
less.
have to say both names. Like that was what Solly Marsh is. Like this girl tweeted out, I can't say Solly Marsh without saying Sally Marsh. I can't call him Solly. I can't. I have to say Solly Marsh.
Yeah, I could see just using the last name. You could say March. I don't think you have to
No,
say Solly March.
like I don't know why, but
There's a guy who factors into this game named Callum Hudson-Odoi. I guess you could kind of you can kind of call him Cho if you want, but I always just call him Callum Hudson.
like no, that's the thing. Like, I can't call Kevin De Bruyne Kevin. I can't.
No,
It's always Kevin De Bruyne or De
Kev.
Bruyne. I can't call him Kev. Like you don't like like Jude Bellingham, I've never just called him Jude. I have to say Jude Bellingham. I have to say his full name. I can't say any other name.
I think you could just say Jude for Jude. I think people will know who you're talking about these days.
Yeah, but this thing is like, I can't say Harry. Like that's a goal. That's a good goal by Harry. No, I have to say that's a great goal by Harry Kane.
Yeah,
I can't say Harry.
You could say Kane though. You could say Kane, couldn't you? Like just the last name.
I don't know, man. I gotta say Harry Kane.
I think it'd be weird just to call people by their first name all the time.
But it's their first name. I call you Rob.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But I'm not scoring goals.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of like, you know, like Gabriel with Arsenal.
Which one?
Exactly. Which one? That's the problem. I have to say their full names or their last names. But
I would say Gabriel would be the defense, the guy in the back line. Gabriel Jesus would be the guy up front.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing, Rob. I can't say Gabriel. I can't just say Jesus. I say Gabriel Jesus.
Gabriel Martinelli.
I call him Martinelli. I call him Martinelli.
You can call him Martinelli.
Well, apparently people call him Gabby Goal, which is stupid.
What?
It's dumb.
Gabagool.
Gabagool. You know what I mean? Gabagool.
Gabagool.
Adelia's gonna watch and be like, I've heard people call him Gabby Goal. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, no one should agree with that. So yes, back to the action on the pitch. João Pedro gets his head to a Pascal Gross cross, a nice one. They take the lead just before halftime, and that's when a little fuddy-duddy stuff comes on. In the second half, Callum Hudson-Odoi gets into the box, is taken down. Now, VAR, at first no call, VAR intervenes. Just look at it, and it's deemed a penalty, giving young Lewis Dunk a yellow.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like that very much.
He kept talking.
They had Anthony Taylor as the ref in this match. So we all know Anthony Taylor cannot keep a game under control. He is awful. He's awful for the sport. I have no idea how he keeps getting friggin' jobs in the Premier League. I don't know how they keep sending him out there. He's terrible for the sport. In this little argument melee that's going on, Lewis Dunk gets a second yellow card for arguing. He's sent off. Evan Ferguson, yellow card for more arguing. Somehow Musa Nyakte for Forrest gets a yellow card. He must have said something, but something about something. Anyways, 4 yellow cards, 1 penalty. It's put away. It's scored. Game tied, it brings the game back to 3-2. Pedro had already scored before that. Forrest has 20 minutes to work with an extra man. Did nothing.
Nothing.
They did nothing.
At home.
Did nothing. I don't know. You know, like as much as Chelsea had been taking some steps forwards and taking the giant leap back, for Forrest, I could just say this is a step back. It wasn't as devastating a loss as Chelsea's was against Newcastle, but this is a loss for them that they should feel. And I know Steve Cooper cannot be happy. He's probably still not happy.
He has a weird face.
I keep saying he's the most English-looking man in the British Premier League.
Ain't that the truth?
This man is English. Okay, so we'll go on, and maybe the surprise of the weekend. It's got to be the surprise of the weekend, right? Because for the first time ever, there's joy on Kenilworth Road. Luton has won their first ever Premier League game at home. Thanks. You got to thank Thomas Kaminsky for this, right? He was incredible. They're doing well. Well, as far as
But
expectations go.
yeah,
They're doing what
well-ish.
they're doing. Kaminsky was very good, especially in the first half. Uh, Especially there's a sequence where he makes a saves against Eze and then Schloop back to back.
Mm-hmm.
But Eze has to leave in the second half. In the second half, within 10 minutes, Eze has to go, and so does Doucouré. Doucouré had to get stretchered off. So in the 68th minute, though, it looks like Palace goes ahead, but Hudson Edouard had to bring the ball back with his hand. So originally it was good, and I had to try and see, like, is he offside?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are they going? Why are they looking for the VAR? Because he puts his hands up like this and bats it ahead. Now, as a Thierry Henry fan, I know you think that that's fine to do, but it is not.
Calm down, calm down. All right, you're talking to the man who always who calls out Argentinians when they don't talk about when Maradona cheated.
Oh,
All right,
cheated.
he cheated like a mug.
It's
And you know what?
the
And you
worst
know
thing
what?
that
By
ever
the
happened.
way,
Worst thing
by
that
the
ever happened in sports.
by the way, too, I get that Thierry Henry cheated during a very intense World Cup qualifying game.
Mm-hmm.
Maradona cheated in the World Cup final. All right, it's a complete difference. Okay,
It's the final or the semifinal. I can't
it was the final.
It was the final against England.
It was the final against England.
Ugh, yeah. God damn it.
And the reason, and people gave it like a cute nickname too. They gave it a nickname. The hand of God. Look at Maradona. He cheated, and we're fine with it. I'm not fine with it because I remember when Thierry Henry cheated, he was ripped apart by I think justifiably. Like the English media ripped him apart, the Irish media ripped him apart.
I don't think the Irish are ever going to be happy. They're never going to let it go.
But here's the thing too: the
Turns
French
out the
media,
Irish know how to hold a grudge.
Oh, absolutely. Just ask the English. And like the French media ripped him apart. They called him every name underneath the book. Was some of the ripping apart kind of a little overboard? Absolutely. Some of it kind of also went a little racial, which I will never agree with. That's not cool. But if you rip Terrence, like he got away with cheating because it was cheating. He cheated. Yeah. He used this. But like, yeah, man, it's not okay. Don't use your hand. You're cheating. You blatantly used your hand.
I think it's much to be said about the officiating in that match than the actual action.
That's why, to me, Lionel Messi's the better Argentinian player.
Than Maradona?
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever close.
It's not.
Of course, yeah, Messi's way better.
Also, Roberto Kempis' World Cup is better than Maradona's World Cup too. You know why? Because Roberto Kempis didn't have to cheat. They beat the shit out of everyone in '77.
Yeah,
he didn't have to cheat.
Well, that's not a great World Cup to look.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it was the beginning of the sports washing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Luton would score though, and it would actually count. Alfie Doughty's corner goes off Carlton Morris's head and falls right to Teden Mengi. Puts a far side for the lead. Teden Mengi. We're getting to say a lot of names we usually don't get to say this week. So I'm excited about that. Mengi scores a lead that would last all of 2 minutes because Michael Olise is finally back playing. He, I believe, started his first game last week just before the break. He comes back this week. Looks like the best player on the pitch. He gets his goal.
The 1978 World Cup. I apologize.
Yeah, it couldn't have been 77.
Yeah.
He just fires an absolute missile, posting in. But this week and this time.
His name was Mario Kempis, not Robert. Sorry.
This week and this time, Luton says, no, not again.
Not again.
Chidin Obin. I always screw up his name. Obine. I think that's right. Puts another cross in the box in the 83rd minute. And every Palace player watches it.
Chidozie Ogbeni.
Ogbeni. That's it.
Ogbeni.
I think that sounds more correct than the way
Chidozie Ogbeni.
Yes. So he puts a cross in the box.
Jacob Brown.
There's 3 guys watching. There's 2 defenders. There's the keeper. Jacob Brown goes out of nowhere, streaking and how Obeni saw him and just thought, I'm gonna put it here. Let's see what happens. Brilliant. He gets his boot to it. And if Kenilworth Road had a ceiling or walls, because I'm assuming it doesn't even have walls, it would have been
Ceiling,
blown apart.
walls, windows.
There's windows on the houses it's connected to.
Yeah.
So that
The
kind
roof,
of
the roofs, the multiple roofs were blown off.
That's true. Yeah, the rain stoppers or whatever you want to call it. Unbelievable. Kaminsky still has to make some more saves before the end. Makes one off of Jefferson Lerma. Elise puts one off the crossbar with barely a couple of seconds left to play. But that's it. Luton wins. Huge day at Kenilworth Road. They are now 4 points clear of relegation, which is a big deal, considering at one time we thought they were the worst team in the league. They've picked it up, especially over the last, let's say, 4 or 5 weeks. They've played much better. So, congratulations,
to Luton
Town. The Hatters. What are you going to do about that? Let's talk about another Saturday match. I believe this is the last Saturday match. I believe. And a pretty boring matchup, actually. Brentford loses to the Arsenal Football Club 1-0. And like we mentioned before, Aaron Ramsdale is back. I don't know if is he now going to be actually starting, or was this a spot start?
Well, here's the weird thing about David Raya.
Mm-hmm.
He's on loan. He's on loan. We haven't bought him.
Mm-hmm.
He's on loan. He's on a $3 million loan with a $27 million buy option, which would make it a $30 million price for David Raya. So by EPL rules, you cannot play against your parent club. So we had to start Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not that he wanted to start Aaron Ramsdale. He had to start Aaron Ramsdale. I think it's very clear. His number one is David Raya, and it's going to be David Raya for the foreseeable future. I don't know why he made the big stink of I may sub them in and out. Like, he should have just said, David Raya is my number one, and I subbed out Aaron Ramsdale. But I think he didn't want to, people were like, oh, why did you sub out Aaron Ramsdale? I think the reason he made the big stink about the goalies is that, why can't I?
Right.
I can do it with any other position. Why can't I do it with goalie? Because one, he's right. Like, why can't I just sub out my goalie if he's not playing well? And he, instead of him saying I don't trust Aaron Ramsdale anymore, I don't trust his distribution of his feet, he doesn't want to say that. So he concocted this verbal fracas to distract people when he really wanted to say, he was like, I don't want to play Aaron Ramsdale anymore. I don't trust his feet, and I don't want to play him anymore. I think David Raya is better than him. He didn't want to, for some other reason, I feel like he didn't want to say that out loud. But his actions are speaking louder. David Raya since he got there, has started most of the Premier League games and all of the Champions League games. All of them.
Yep.
And the only time you see Aaron Ramsdale is in EFL Cup, which we're not in anymore. So you will not be seeing Aaron Ramsdale. And this Brentford game. He'll be starting the next Brentford game because, again, you can't play against your parent club. So he's going to have one more start guaranteed this year. One more start guaranteed. And it's against Brentford at the Emirates. But I don't know. He made a horrible mistake early.
I was going to say, you were mentioning how you were thinking Arteta doesn't trust his feet. Well, it didn't take him long to prove that right. He kind of screws up in front with Wissa. The ball gets to him, Bumo. And we talked about somebody earning.
By the way, correction. The hand of God occurred in the quarterfinals of the 1986 World Cup.
There you go. They talked about a guy earning his £105 million. Declan Rice. I believe Aaron Ramsdale owes him a pint.
No, not even just him. He also owes Zinchenko a pint as well.
I was going to get to him later.
Okay.
Because the bar tab for Aaron Ramsdale is quite high.
It's pretty high
for a guy who got a clean sheet, mind you. He got a clean sheet.
Yes.
not much of a. I want you to talk more about the game because there really wasn't much to it. Like
It was
Arsenal wasn't great, and
no,
Brentford had opportunities that they didn't take.
yeah.
Like it
I
was a
think
poor matchup.
it was great. It was great Arsenal defensively. The attack was left a lot to be desired.
Yep.
We did have a goal to get taken back because
Yep.
apparently I was told you can't draw a line on the ball because it's too spherical. But you guys are drawing offsides lines off of a spherical ball instead of the foot of
I wanted to ask you about the Trossard play because when I first looked at it too, I was saying, "Where's the problem? Where's the problem?" And like I thought maybe it was up before, and then they said it's when Gabby Jesus heads the ball, and then I keep trying to find a spot where it looks like Trossard's in front of him.
it's not.
I don't see it.
No, because they drew the line from the ball. But you
Yeah.
told me you can't do that because the ball is too spherical. So you should have drew the line from Gabriel Jesus' foot. If they
Yeah.
did that, the line moves a little bit forward.
How can the ball be offside? Like it doesn't make that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make it like I said. Welcome to the world of the English Premier League and especially the
Welcome
PGMOL.
to the refs screwing over Arsenal once again.
PGMOL. Well, it works out for you guys in the end. Well, we also could have talked about, of course, Zinchenko doing the same thing. Now, Zinchenko takes it, blocks it off the line. Good play. Ramsdale's diving for the ball.
Yeah,
inside his own net.
Yeah, that's the stupid. So he overplays on his side. He overplays. So he's on the far side of the goal. And then he's running back and the ball is kicked and he dives behind Zinchenko into the net. So it's a goal. If Zinchenko misses it, it's a goal regardless.
Yeah.
So
Ramsdale wanted to save it from getting to the back of the net, not just over the line.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Didn't make sense.
Yeah. And the problem is, I generally think this.
Unless he was diving to get out of the way of Zinchenko, who's already there.
Yeah. You're right.
That's the only thing I could think of that may save.
No, but the thing is, but the thing is, if you dive in front of Zinchenko, you block it as well. But he dove behind Zinchenko.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. It did not make much sense.
Also, too, man, the reason people made a big fuss about it is that I think Mikel Arteta made a big fuss about it. If he should have just swapped them out and said nothing. That's why Roberto De Zerbi has gotten away with what he's done at Brighton. He's like swapped those goalies like a million times. He just does it. He just does it and doesn't care about. Well, one, also two, no one cares about Brighton, and two, he just does it regardless. From Justin Steele or Robert Steele, one of whatever his name is, and Bart Verga Buganon. He oh no, I'm sorry, Bart. I think it's one of them. Sure. He just swaps them. He's like, he wasn't playing good. I'm playing him. I don't care.
Yeah.
So you could have done that. No problem. But let's get to this goal, man. So Gabriel Martinelli's not having a good game at all. They started Leandro Trossard in the midfield, so they took out Kai Havertz. So he had a midfield three of Odegaard, Rice, Trossard. First time seeing that. Cool. But the wingers haven't really been doing much. So they take out Martinelli out and they put in Kai Havertz on the wing.
The timid deer. And right before he comes in, our set piece coach, Nikola Jovic, I think his name is that. Sure.
He's showing him on the iPad, this is what you do. I don't know what he was showing him. He could be showing him like, look at my picture of Caillou. I don't know, because I didn't see what the hell he was showing him. And then Martin Odegaard passes it back to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka has done this so many times, and usually Leandro Trossard is on the end of this goal, but he slaps it, and it just felt, when he kicked it, it just felt like it was perfect. It felt like it was perfect. And then Kai Havertz remembered, oh yeah, I'm 6'5".
It's about time he did.
and he just muscles his way around the defender.
To say
Well,
muscle.
yeah,
It's still Kai Havertz.
yeah, okay, fine.
He
Let me
maneuvered.
give.
He maneuvered.
He
He
maneuvered
maneuvered.
around the the defender, and again, also being 6'5", it kind of hinders this case. He gets low enough for his head because he has to bring his entire upper body down, and it Kipsock flicking off his foot and into the goal, and we win.
88th minute winner. 88th minute.
Yeah.
And not a chance. It's his first It's his first
Open
productive.
field goal.
Yeah, I'll say productive goal because he wasn't given charity. He earned that one for sure.
Earned it like a mug.
Yeah, it was a terrific play.
Our
Real nice, and a real nice cross to the back corner, like to the back post as well, and just him just finding space for it. And a guy that tall finding space inside the box is rare and stuff for something like that. Like not even a corner, just from the run of play. So yeah, but I thought Saka's cross was excellent.
Also, too, Brentford, what they do at home, man, they make it hard for you to score. They drop back 5. When I was watching the game, when we were on the attack, they had 5 in the back, and they had 3 at the box line, the outer box line. So they were parking the bus. So it was a slow, methodical breakdown of the team, but also too, the defense didn't lose focus, right? Because sometimes when that's what these teams really hinder on, right, Rob? Is they park the bus, they do it, they get the steal, right?
There's just too many teams that aren't interested in scoring. They're more interested in just getting what they can off the counter, and then just sitting back with a low line.
They want
stuff the middle.
Exactly. So they're counting on your defense to get lazy and lose focus, but our defense didn't, and we weren't starting Ben White. He was injured, so he was nursing a little injury. So we actually started Zinchenko and Tomiyasu, and it shows that we can start that pairing. So it's also cool because we can also start Ben White with one of them too, so we can rotate those 3 and kind of keep them fresh. And then then we bring in there's Jakob Kivior, who AC Milan wants but not gonna get over my dead body. And also Mikel Arteta said, I'm not getting rid of Jakob Kivior because we have Champions League and we need to make sure that Gabriel and William Saliba are fresh. So Kivior then gets rotated in. He's the main center back sub.
Yeah.
But yeah, the defense didn't lose focus. Saliba, Gabriel didn't lose focus because that's what happened back with Arsenal is we lose focus. We have this one moment of lack of focus where we either give up a goal or they get the momentum and score later on. But Saliba didn't lose focus and Gabriel Magalhaes didn't lose focus. The defense was stout. Tomiyasu, just another stellar game by Tomiyasu. I can't wait. We need to re-sign him. We need to lock him in. We're close, but he needs to come back. And shout out to Zinchenko, man. I'm very hard on Zinchenko. And he's the weaker defensively of the fullbacks, I believe. But he provides an offensive service, but defensively, pretty good this week. The save at the goal. He went after people on the when they were on the breakaway. He charged the ball, stole it away, kicked it away. It was pretty tremendous, man. It was a great all team around. Bukayo Saka, he just floats, and then he strikes. One cross, boom. Just amazing.
And a huge win for you guys. You guys now leapfrog 2 clubs. Those clubs being Liverpool and Man City to be first overall, top of the table in the Premier League,
looks good,
no matter what would happen for the rest of the weekend. So big win in a position that not many people were talking about you guys being in, even say 4 weeks ago. So well, it was a well played team game. Everybody came in to bail out your keeper, and you're just stuck with it. This is how you have to beat that goddamn parked bus. It's like you have to do it with a guy who can get up and get a cross in. That's how you beat it. That's how you defeat it. They're going to give you all kinds of space to do it. You just have to get a guy up into the air that can do it. So Kai Havertz now knows his worth. Okay, let's move on, because another result that might make you happy. I know it brought a smile to my face on Sunday morning, even though I'm not a huge Villa fan either.
Me neither.
But the Tottenham Hotspurs lose their third match in a row, despite scoring, was it 4 times, 5 times? Because 3 of them, my son, offside every time.
He's so stupid.
That's like they play that high line and stuff like that. So you're gonna risk having these kind of things happen. One of them was pretty close. A couple more of them, not so much, like the one that goes off the crossbar first or whatever, and then 2 of them when he's super offside. Yeah, but they are the ones that score first, and it's through Lo Celso, of all people.
The 22nd minute.
Yeah, gets the ball at the top of the
box. With a deflection?
It may have touched off somebody. I don't know.
Yeah,
but not. It was going on net, so that's why they aren't going to call it a no goal. But yeah, I don't think it made a huge deflection. It just
it gets hit. It gets hit on the cross.
Yeah,
by one of the Villa players, and it goes to the Tottenham player. Then he kicks it. Then it hits off of another Villa player and bounces in. So I think it's a goal. It's a goal.
Yeah, it's a goal for him. It's not an own goal because it was going at the net. So it didn't change the result of the play. The ball was going to go in. It just changed the trajectory of it. So he scores. Ollie Watkins looks like he scores right afterwards. And in another case of where's he offside? I don't know where he's offside in that. That looks like he was perfectly fine to me. So I was a little choked about that. It's like they're not going to help out Spurs again, are they? They're not helping out Spurs again. But this time, Pau Torres gets onto the end of a cross in the 6th minute of extra time to level the game, and then Ollie Watkins, an hour into the match, would get a goal that would stick. It's a nice passing play with Tielemans back and forth to get him moving forward in the net. And again, Spurs have chances. Spurs put the ball in, just not correctly. You can't score offside.
That cross by
post don't count either.
Villa. That cross by Villa, man, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing. The one for Pau Torres.
Yeah. Also, too, Villa had chances to increase the lead. I'm about to compliment Tottenham, but that goalie, Jesus Louise, man, he's the reason it stayed 2-1. Because there were some saves where I was like, dude, wow, that was amazing.
Like I said, he did let a bunch of goals did go by him and stuff like that. So he did
2.
Yeah, 3 far. Or are you talking Vicario for Spurs?
Yeah, Vicario.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the
no, not Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez. He stinks.
He's okay, but
he stinks. I'm talking about
I'm talking about in the world.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, and I'm 6'8", so we had just lying. So yeah, but I'm talking about Vicario, man. Like he's the reason it stayed 2-1, and I think it should have been more than 2-1 because some of these shots where they were on target. If he just wasn't there, they're goals. But he was like, "Hey, yo, Donnarumma, your job ain't safe on the Italian national team, Donnarumma."
No, I don't think.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does
anybody even remember Lloris anymore? Nobody does. Is he still a member of the team? I don't know.
He is. Technically, he is.
Yeah.
They're just paying him to stay home because no one wants to buy him.
He was their captain.
Yeah. Well, they probably saw what happened in the World Cup. We're like, yeah, he's lost a step. He needs to be gone.
No, well.
Yeah.
Bye. Couldn't care less about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if the house burnt down, I'd bring some marshmallows.
Unfortunately, the problem is now that they got a goalie that's better than Hugo Lloris because this dude is he's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He's been a real revelation for them this year.
And he can take Donnaruma's spot because all you have to say is, "Hey, Donnarumma, you play in the French league. You don't meet a lot of good strikers. So, and you play for PSG, so it's whatever."
Problem for Tottenham is I think they've been figured out.
Oh, absolutely.
The high line's been figured out. They're down 3, and we're going to talk about when we get to our predictions who they play this week. But things aren't looking good for them.
Hey man, this isn't the Scottish Premiership, dog. and you ain't Celtic.
You know when everything went sour for them
Mm-hmm.
when they were playing Chelsea. They had just got up 1-0, and the color commentator was going, "I wonder if he's dreaming. I wonder if he's thinking about his next Manager of the Month award." And everything from there went to shit. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much. Yeah. Poor Ange Postecoglou. Whatever.
Poor my ass. I don't care.
Yeah. Beat it.
Beat it.
That was the Australian. Okay. Next match.
Good day, mate.
Throw another shrimp on the bobby, mate.
Man, I only care about one Australian.
Crocodile Dundee?
Well, 2 Australians.
Okay.
No, 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee. And who else?
Robert Irwin and Sam Kerr.
Well, there you go.
God rest your soul, Robert Irwin. Stingrays all day on site. I'll fight a stingray for Robert Irwin.
Wow. Very nice. They fight back though. Okay, so we'll
go
on.
You seen his son? He looks just like him. It's kind of freaky. Yeah.
Oh
shout out to him and Bindi.
I know Bindi.
Bindi's his daughter.
Yeah, I know Bindi. All right. Got 2 more matches left. First one, maybe if you saw the first half of this match, you'd be surprised at the scoreline. The second half, not so much. But Man U goes into the aforementioned at the top of the show, Everton.
Bro.
Beats them 3-0. Everton, I'm going to say this. Everton was the much better squad in the first half. Problem being, although Manchester United only had 1 shot on net in the first half, it's turned out to be one of the all-time greatest goals in the Premier League.
I don't like complimenting Garnacho because he annoys me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
he's annoying. But sweet baby molasses, that goal was something special.
To take the 2 or 3 steps back, to drift back to go get it, was amazing too. That was not a well-placed cross.
It was not. And once again, that's how you know Gareth Southgate does not know how to manage. Why is Jordan Pickford the starting goalie for England? I don't understand it. It made no sense to me.
No idea. There was nothing he would be able to have done about that first goal. Let's just say that, right?
That was
nobody would be able to stop it.
I think
how high he went up, how high the ball stayed up at that pace, coming from a back kick where you don't know where, you can't tell his trajectory. It's like a backhand shot in hockey. There's just no way. There's no way that anyone's stopping that. There's no one thinking that where he is, that's going to go into the far top corner. There's no way.
I can't stop looking
at me. It's crazy.
I can't stop watching it. Like the cross was nice by Marcus Rashford. Was it perfect?
It wasn't perfect. Like he had to drift out to get it. It's crazy.
Because the thing is, it wasn't Rashford. It was Dalot.
Yeah,
number 20.
Diogo Dalot, right?
Yeah, Diogo Dalot. So Dalot, it was good. It was fine, but
it got there.
Yeah, but
not on
Jesus,
target, but it got there.
No, but here's the thing too. The more I see it, man, Pickford could have stopped it.
I don't know how. I have no idea how.
He could have.
If you were 3 feet taller and faster.
Yeah, that's a good point. That other angle kind of ruined it. Yeah, you're right. He couldn't have stopped that.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. I was waiting for another angle, and they gave it to me. And it was too high.
Now,
too fast.
Yeah, and like give it to Everton. They just pressed. They kept pressing. Couldn't get a goal. Couldn't buy a goal. And it cost them. Second half, they're just much slower. And Anthony Martial decides he's going to run into the box.
Anthony Martial.
Yeah.
What a wild thing to say.
Yeah. Ashley Young meets him at the top of the box. Martial goes flying because Manchester United, you're taught to dive. You're taught, don't think goal, think penalty. So he dives, and he must have gone up 8 feet in the air, comes down. Given a yellow card for diving. VAR says, hold on a minute. Let's have a look at this. And Ashley Young's foot stops just before Marshall. Does it actually touch his foot? I don't know. I didn't see a replay that said that it did. But it sure changed the ref sure changed his mind. Waves off the yellow card, puts them to the spot, and this time for charity, it's Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, mind you, had only scored once this entire season until just then, and he hammers the ball home, top of the net. So he's at 2 now, a charity goal and a goal through the rough play. Just not a great look for it. How is Manchester United in 6th spot in this league? How have they done this? They've been awful every week, and they keep getting points. I don't get it. I do not get it at all. It makes me sad.
It's just that they're against teams that are worse than them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, just taking a look to see who they're playing this week, and it's going to be an interesting matchup, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Anthony Martial actually gets his first of the season again.
Yep, in the 75th.
Yeah, nice little pass from Bruno Fernandes. A little cheeky flick over Pickford to put it in. 3-0. Yeah, Everton needed to. They just buried. I wonder if they even buried one of those chances. It's a totally different game, but so many chances just wasted, and you can't do it. Now we get to the final match of the week, and this one was nuts. The Monday afternoon game between Fulham and Wolves. You like penalties, Fares?
I quite enjoy them. Ain't that the truth?
You're gonna get them. Alex Iwobi gets the home side up 7 minutes in. Real nice passing play with Anthony Robinson. A lovely little back. He just reaching back. He kind of outruns the ball, but reaches back, gets it with his left, steers it in. Nice goal. Mateus Cunha gets it back 15 minutes later. Again, a real nice plays from Bellegarde. I don't know how to say Jean Ressin, Bellegarde. Some real nice work by him.
Nice, Rob. Jean Ressin,
some nice footwork and tight in the box. Gets it over to Cunha. Okay. He heads it in. Second half. The first bit of controversy. The ref's name is Michael Salisbury, and he rules that Nelson Semedo makes contact with Tom Kearney's foot in the box. Now, it just looks like a dive. That's a dive.
It does. It looks like a dive, Rob. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. That was not no foul. He dove like a mug, and the ref fell for it. And it was disgusting to watch.
If you can give cards for diving now, how is it that VAR can't have him take a look just for the dive?
Because
they say clear and obvious and stuff like that. You made no clear and obvious. Like if it's a dive, it's a dive. You know it's a dive. Call it a dive. Like again, it's your whole duck analogy.
Also, too, he hits the ball. So the ball gets jostled. So the Fulham player. If he does trip, he trips over the ball, but he doesn't even trip over the ball. He just falls over.
Yep.
So it's a dive. It was a complete dive. This ref fell for it, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's a tough one when you have to call out the referees every weekend because they keep doing stuff like this. It's At what point do they just say enough with these guys? Just go get somebody who will actually do the job correctly and not be worried about what their friends think. But anyways, doesn't matter. Because in the 75th minute, Wang Chan has the ball. He gets nudged by Anthony Robinson into Tim Ream. Now, Was he inside the box or was he just outside?
He was
Because
right on the line.
it's pretty
He
close.
was,
And if it's
he
on
was
the
right.
line, it's in the
Now,
box.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Rob, because I was watching the highlight,
Yeah.
and the game. So then, like it was like the front angle of like you see their faces, like Tim Ream and him, and you clearly see his feet is on the line. He was
Yeah.
on the line. So
Okay. Now, Wang Chen takes his own penalty, scores. Game is level. Now we're getting towards the end of the match. And in the 88th minute, Vinicius Jr. wins a free kick. But he's not too pleased with the way Max Kilman is standing over him. He then decides to headbutt Kilman in the face. I'm pretty sure he didn't get a yellow card for it.
Yep. I don't think he even got a warning.
He got a yellow card, I believe, for arguing.
Yeah.
He didn't get
one. It should have been a straight red.
VAR
Yeah.
does not show this to the ref. This is a red card offense. This is the red card offense. You can't headbutt somebody in the face because the guy didn't drop down and start flopping like a fish. Like you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to penalize the result. You penalize the act.
Yeah.
And he headbutted the guy in the face.
It should have been a straight red.
It's a straight red card.
It's a straight red.
It's a straight red card. He should have been off the pitch. Would that have changed things? I don't know. Because not long after that, what's his name? João. I want to keep saying, João Pedro. João Gomez.
Yes, João Gomez, yes.
João Gomez is on a yellow card from the first half. I think he got one in the 33rd minute. And he ends up tripping a guy who's running upfield. He's given a foul for it, but he isn't given a yellow. Yellow would have sent him off. Which you'd think would be good news for Wolves, except that it's the same João Gomez who 5 minutes later is in defense, decides to stick out his leg
and fouls him
and trips him. He trips him. The guy goes down. Now, at first look, people are thinking, oh, this is a dive as well. I did as well because I do not trust follow. But he stuck out his leg, and it was a legit. He runs into his leg, and he stuck his leg out. He didn't make a. Yeah. He made an attempt at the ball. He made an attempt at the ball. He stuck his leg out, and then like this. Of course, as soon as you do this, you know you're guilty. VAR had to look at it to make sure. So that's what it was. It puts Willian back in the spot, score another goal to go up 3-2. Wolves again getting penalized late. This is a thing that happens for them. They lose games at the gasp every week. It seems.
It's always at
sometimes fairly. Sometimes fairly. I think this one was fairly.
Yeah.
Sometimes not so fairly. Andre Onana. So they still have another chance though, but Wang Yichen just puts it over the net.
Yeah.
So an exhausting matchup for an exhausting week. 3-2, a fun game to watch. Honestly, it was a fun game to watch, and nothing gets you more riled up than when the goddamn refs get too involved. But there you go. That's it for week 13. Not a week I will look back on fondly. I can tell you that. If I decide to look back. How dare you? So we did do some predictions. The three of us. We had a live show last time out. Wasn't a banner week for us, we'll say. We didn't end up with one winner. We ended up with two. Both only having 3 points. Not great. But there were some surprise matchups in here. So what are you going to do? Your winners, Adelia.
Of course.
And Fares Muthana.
Yeah, well, let's go. First week, I won something.
He's in there. You shared, but gold is still gold. So we're moving on.
Did I choose Luton to win? Did I choose Luton to win? I feel like I didn't.
No, I don't think anybody would have chosen Luton to win that. Let's have a quick look. We'll go back to Luton. Nope, that is the match you called a draw.
Oh.
If you would have called any other team to win, you would have won the week. So just saying that. It cost you the first place by yourself. But, still won first. Now, we're going on to week 14, but because we air the shows on Tuesdays, we have to actually cover 2 extra games because the next week starts on Tuesday. It like never stops this week. We got a Tuesday game, we got Thursday games coming up, but let's go into this week coming up because it starts with your favorite club, Arsenal, taking on the aforementioned Wolverhampton Wolves.
I'll take a victory for the Arsenal.
At home, I think you'll be able to handle Wolves as well. Adelia said Wolves, just so you know. Brentford
Heresy.
taking on a newly encouraged Luton Town, but they're at home.
Yeah, Brentford. I got Brentford.
Yeah, of course, it's Brentford.
Wait, you said
That
so
shouldn't
games
be.
start on Tuesday?
No, these ones are Saturday. We have 2 games on Tuesday this week that we have to
Okay.
cover because of when we air the show.
Got you.
Right. Next match, Burnley and Sheffield United, and this is a pretty big matchup. It's at the Turf Moor.
I'm gonna go Burnley.
Adelia's gone Burnley. This is the right spot to put a tie, right? This is a draw kind of situation. That's why I'm going to say Burnley because
Yeah.
somebody would have to score.
Someone needs to
Sheffield.
win. Someone, yeah.
Sheffield, I just don't trust them to score.
Is it Chris Archer that's on their team?
It's on Burnley. Yep.
Burnley or Sheffield United?
I don't know. Does Sheffield United have anybody?
I don't think they got. The only person I know on Sheffield United is Austin Trusty and Ollie McBurney.
Mhm.
Because the reason I know Ollie McBurney is because his name's Ollie McBurney.
Yeah. We also know West Fotheringham
Oh yeah, that dumbass.
because he made a fool of himself.
Stupid ass man.
So Forest takes on Everton at the City Ground.
Sweet. Let's go Forest with the bounce back.
Forest is supposed to win at home. That's their
Yeah.
job. They just kind of blew it this week.
Yeah, I'm going with the bounce back.
Yeah, you don't trust Everton. I'll say Forest as well. We're all looking pretty much the same. But now the first real kind of pick 'em from St. James Park, Newcastle and Man United.
I'm going Newcastle.
So is Adelia. This is one I am going to legit call a draw.
Yeah, I think Newcastle. We keep talking about their injuries, but didn't show up against Chelsea.
No, they look fine against Chelsea, but Chelsea was shit.
Yeah, and we act like, well, it's Man United. They're not that
Man
deep.
United. They have no midfield whatsoever.
Yeah,
None.
yeah. So
All right. Next match.
and Newcastle has the Brazilians and Lewis Miley, so they're good in the midfield.
Bournemouth is at home, taking on Aston Villa.
We'll go Aston Villa.
Yeah, even though Bournemouth won this week, so did Villa, and I think they were more convincing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Villa as well. Chelsea taking on Brighton at home.
Chelsea taking on Brighton at home.
Yeah, they're at the Bridge.
Go Brighton.
How dare you, sir? Chelsea, Brighton. Adelia says draw. Fares says Brighton. Of course, I'm going to take Chelsea. I'd rather be wrong 100 times out of 10 than be wrong once and miss it. All right. Liverpool and Fulham from Anfield.
Oh, Liverpool.
They don't lose there. And the Premier League does whatever they can to make sure that doesn't happen. West Ham at the London Stadium, mind you, Fares. Yeah. Taking on Crystal Palace. London derby of a sort.
I'm going to go draw.
Ooh. Adelia's gone Palace.
Yeah, but Ezzy not playing, is he? He
Depends.
injured.
It depends. I
It
don't know
depends.
how injured he was.
Shoot.
I don't know how injured he was. I'm taking West Ham.
I'm gonna go West Ham then. I mean, I realized Ezzy may not be playing, so let's go West Ham.
Okay, let's go West Ham. All right. Now, big matchup this week. Maybe the marquee matchup of the week. Takes the last game on Sunday. It's Manchester City at home to Tottenham Hotspurs.
Man City.
That's what Adelia says as well. That's what I'll say as well. Could lead to a fourth straight defeat for Tottenham, which is bananas. But
Cool, me.
well deserved. But well deserved.
Okay with that.
The Tuesday matches. The two we have to cover. Wolves taking on Burnley, and this is from the Annex.
Wolves taking on Burnley.
Yep.
Wait, Burnley again?
Yeah. Well, this is the Tuesday match. Then there's games Thursday and stuff like that too. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
there's another game on Tuesday.
Let's go
Adelia says,
Wolves. Let's
yeah,
go
Delia's
Wolves.
saying Wolves. You're saying Wolves. I don't think Wolves lose at home to Burnley either. I'm saying Wolves. Last match we're covering, Ferris, is Luton Town at Kennelsworth Road. You know, they got a winning streak going there now. One.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to take on Arsenal Football Club.
Oh, oh. Yeah, we're about to beat the.
So you're saying draw. So you're saying a draw.
No, absolutely not. We're gonna beat the snot out of them.
Arsenal, your lone visit to the most unique stadium in the Champions
Is it like wait? Is it like our first ever visit?
No, I'm sure you guys have been there at some point before, but you're first in the Premier League.
Okay. And our last.
Well, we'll see. They're out of relegation right now. If they hold on.
Yeah, they're. I think they're in 17.
Yep, they're 4 points. They're 4 points clear. Even after the results of next weekend, they will still be in 17th place. They cannot get out of it. Ferris, thank you very much for jumping on board, talking a little Premier League with me, even if we've had to do it twice, for the most part. And thank you all for watching. Ferris, where can everybody find you on the good old interwebs?
On our sports channel, every Friday, 3:00 Pacific. Good friends, better rivals. Me and Caleb talk American football. We talk American football. And then every Friday, 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on time, on our other channel, the Let's Get Ready Network channel. Me and Adelia do, good friend. We do the open table. We do the open table.
Sure.
Yeah.
We also do a show together.
Yes,
Thursdays on the Let's Get Ready Network Rewatchers Council. That's our Buffy the Vampire Slayer full series rewatch. We'll be watching this week. Coming this Thursday, we'll be watching and discussing Never Kill a Boy on the First Date. Ferris, have you watched the episode?
I will.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. LGRN after Snark happens weekends. We've had to take the last couple weeks off. We will be back, guys. That's where Danny and I just talk about whatever we want to talk about on the weekend. It's on YouTube now, so we have to have a topic to talk about, or at least a title for the show. So we'll think of something and we'll put it out. What else we got going on? I think that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah, join our Patreon. We have Patreon reactions going on right now. I believe Adelia and them are watching the Rings of Power, the show that came out, what was it, last year or something like that, for the Lord of the Rings show. I really enjoyed it. I hear they're making the second season. It should be coming out next year, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, watch it. Get ready for the next
as well as season. Rob, you were in a special reaction for the Doctor Who 60th anniversary episode, right?
Yep, the 60th anniversary episodes of Doctor Who are out now. The first one, the Star Beast, I did a Patreon reaction with Chris Ingle and Adelia. I believe the next one was Wild Blue Yonder, I believe it's called. I think, does it come out this weekend? I'm not sure. It comes out soon. So stay tuned for that. You can, it doesn't take much to join the Patreon. You can pay attention. You can pay more time with us hang out, watch sci-fi shows, watch different kinds of shows. Most of all, just be part of the Discord community, where it always seems to have Ferris or Adelia or somebody on. Even people from Massachusetts, for God's sake. So, anyways, guys, thank you very much. And we will see you next Tuesday. Have a good week and come on, Chelsea. Gosh damn it, nothing like this past weekend. It's the worst.
Pretty bad.